Hello, my name is Sheena, and welcome to Sheena's Lifestyle Journey. I'd like you to take a minute to like and subscribe to this video. On my channel, I talk about health, food, travel, and business, and I'd like to invite you to come along while I make a simple dish of coconut rice in a rice cooker. Coconut rice can be found in many tropical places around the world, and many cultures throughout the world utilize coconut rice as a main course of meal in many of their dishes. So places like Thailand, Southeast Asia, East Africa, West Africa, the Caribbean, Central America, you would find groups of people in those places that make coconut rice as part of their traditional cuisines. I just want to make sure you guys enjoy this, so continue to watch. Hi friends, today I will be showing you how I make my coconut rice in a rice cooker. There are a few things I have to start on the stove first before I put the rice into the rice cooker, and that's really to help give my rice a good flavor. Now, the type of rice that I will be using today is the Jasmine white rice. I'll use that, and I'm gonna share with you my ingredients. My ingredients here are, I have chopped onions as well as garlic. I have my better than Bullion seasoning. I also have vegetable broth. I have 100% coconut milk and also coconut cream. Okay, so those are all the ingredients that I will be using, including a little bit of butter for both my sauteing in the pan and just boiling the rice in the rice cooker. Okay, so now I'm going to begin. Here I have my pan and it's heating right now. As soon as it heats enough, and I can tell by waving my hands over the pot, as soon as it heats enough, I will put a little bit of butter in, and then I will take my garlic and onions, my minced onions and garlic, and drop them into the pot, and then we'll go from there. So I'm gonna show you now my rice. I've already washed my rice. It's already in the rice cooker. I always wash my rice before I cook it, no matter what type of rice I'm using. I do use several different types of rice, which one is the white rice or the regular wild rice, the wild black rice. Okay, so the heat is going down. I normally don't use measurements because I'm used to cooking rice, but here I'm gonna put some butter in. And I'm gonna just make sure it's coated all over the bottom of the pot. Just like that. Okay, so while that's heating a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and get the onions and the garlic ready to get thrown into the pot. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so you're hearing it sizzle right now. And all I'm using in this rice is the onions and the garlic. It smells really delicious. See, it's sauteing right now. It smells really good. So I'm having that. I'll saute everything until the onions are translucent. gonna just let that stay and heat for a little bit. I'm gonna turn the stove down a little while that goes to a translucent point. I'll be right back. Okay, so now the onions are translucent, as you can see. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a little bit of Better Than Bullion seasoning, and I normally use 1 teaspoon of the seasoning. Okay, that's how the Better Than Bullion looks in the container. So I'm going to use a little bit of the seasoning there. I'm pouring a little bit of water just to kind of melt the seasoning, and as that cooks along with the onions and the garlic, you can see the onions becoming more translucent. So now my goal is to get the Better Than Bullion, the vegetarian brand, vegetable brand, down, sauteed down enough that you cannot see any of the sauce, the paste itself. Okay, so at least as of now, the only seasonings that's in this pot is just the onions, the garlic, and the Better Than Bullion. Okay, and as you can see, everything is there and it's sauteing down. We just used a little bit of spring water to kind of lighten the paste. Okay, now I'm going to use a little bit of vegetable stock. Okay, now that I've put a little bit of vegetable stock in here, I'm gonna leave the rest back just so that I can use as water in my rice. Okay, so I'm gonna put that to the side, and I'm also gonna move the plate that I use with my garlic and onions. I'm gonna put that to the side as well. Friends, I'd like to take a minute and ask that you like and subscribe to this video. Okay, friends, you see that it is steaming up right now and it's cooking down in the sauce that we've made. I'm going to use just a little bit of the coconut creamer because it is kind of sweet. My husband, he cooks with this. He's cooked with this often, and he says, made sure to remind me that, babes, this is kind of sweet. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of this coconut cream in there. I'm just gonna put about 2 teaspoons full. And look how it's making it pasty already. You can smell the coconut aroma from this. It smells great. Okay, so that is the first part of getting the seasonings ready for the actual cooking of the rice in the rice cooker. I'm not gonna cook the rice in a regular pot that we normally do. I'm gonna cook it in a rice cooker, but this is what I do to kind of get the seasons sauteed in to the pan as well as into the stock of the broth that we're gonna be cooking the rice into. So I'm gonna turn my stove off for right now, and then I'm gonna bring the rice cooker pot back over and show you exactly what I'm gonna do. Okay, great. So here I have my pot of rice. This is the pot that goes into the rice cooker. I have the pot of rice. The white rice is ready to go. I am going to take the 100% coconut milk and pour it into the pot first so that it can mix in with the ingredients in there. And whenever you're using coconut milk, friends, there's always little chunks of the coconut pulp that's inside. You always have to make sure that you get all of that pulp out. And sometimes most people get the coconut milk in a can, or they can get it in a little box like this. This is not really usual. You won't find something like this in the store because I don't believe that this particular item is for sale. But here's the cream. I'm going to show you what the cream looks like. It's like a thick paste. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put that in because we already have the coconut cream and everything else in here. We're going to make sure that this is soft because we're putting this in a rice cooker, and when you close the lid on the rice cooker, everything steams from there. So I'm taking all of that creamy pulp out. So that it can melt in the sauce that I've already created. This sauce will go inside of the pot with the rice. Okay, so while that's, I'm gonna go ahead and put that on to warm again, just so that this cream, this pulp part can go ahead and disintegrate or become a part of this sauce that I have created. Can you see that? Okay, so now back to my pot of rice. I have to put a little bit of seasoning in this rice. And I'm using sea salt. Okay, you can use any kind of sea salt. Normally I don't cook with this type of salt. I use this salt to do other things with, but because I'm out of the normal Celtic salt that I utilize, I am going to use this. So this is about how much, I measure in my hand about how much salt I'm going to use. This is about how much salt I'm going to put into the rice. We don't need that much in terms of seasoning because I will be utilizing the vegetable broth. So I'm going to pour the salt here. I'm going to put a little bit of butter into the pot. Okay, and that's just about a teaspoon of butter. And I'm going to go back and check on my sauce. Look at how creamy and nice it looks. That is creamy and nice. And all of this will be incorporated into the pot that I'm cooking the rice into. Okay, so there we go. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and pour the vegetable broth into the pot with the rice cooker. And one key thing, if you're not using a measuring cup, always make sure that the rice, when you have your rice, that it is even in the pot, and then when you put your water or whatever liquid in, it goes in like just above the rice itself. Okay, so always make sure that the liquid is always above the rice. So if you're using broth and you're run out of broth, you use a little bit of water, spring water, whatever kind of water you use, and you just make sure that that liquid is covering the rice, because that rice swells once it begins to cook. Okay, so one moment and I'll get that. Okay, so here's the vegetable broth. I'm pouring it in. My goal is to get the rice covered. Okay, so I am completely out of the vegetable broth. I am not going to add any water just yet. I'm just going to make sure that the rice is even in this rice cooker pot. Okay, so we're here. Okay, the butter is not going to melt until the rice starts to cook in the rice cooker. But I'm gonna take this sauce that I've already created, this coconut sauce, and I'm gonna go ahead and pour it into the pot. I'm going to leave all of the description of all my ingredients into the description below, so you can check out all of the ingredients that I did use. Okay, I'm gonna make sure that everything is in the pot, all of the sauce that I've created. This is a nice, creamy, tasty sauce. Okay, and I'm making sure everything is incorporated into the rice. because once we close the lid on the rice cooker, it's going to cook and we will not have anything else to do with it. It's just like if you're cooking a rice in a regular pot and you put that cover, the foil paper and the cover over it, or you just put your cover over it and it steams. That's what's going to happen in the rice cooker. It's going to steam. And it looks like there's enough liquid in this rice so that once that rice cooks, it will be nice and fluffy and tasty. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this rice in the rice cooker. Okay, so friends, I have everything in the rice cooker. I have the rice with my nice rice water sauce in there, which is the coconut milk sauce. And I am going to go ahead and close the lid on this rice cooker. And I'm gonna turn the rice cooker around just to show you what I would do. I would go ahead and turn it on like that. And then I'm gonna set it to white rice. And it's going to stay and cook for 30 minutes. Once that 30 minutes is over, it will beep and I will take it out and I will show you everything, how the rice came out. We'll have some taste testers and I'll just go ahead and plate it for you to see. Thank you so much for watching so far. Please continue to stick around. If you're still watching, this is a great time for you to stop and like and subscribe to this video. Thank you. Friends, I wanted to show you how the rice came out itself. It's really nice and airy, you know, nice and light. So cooking your rice in a rice cooker is it's a good idea. I mean, well, especially coconut rice. You know, it's easy to cook rice in a rice cooker because, you know, the rice cooker itself steams the rice until it's perfectly done. And making coconut rice, the flavor of this rice is awesome. It's really awesome. Okay, so it's very easy to cook rice, coconut rice specifically, in a rice cooker. Anyway, we enjoyed our meal and thank you for sticking with me. Okay, this plate of rice is for Tiger. I had it nicely molded, but it's because it's so light, it is the little mold is falling, but Tiger's gonna try this and be our taste tester, and then I'm also gonna plate some for myself and you will see how it tastes. So I'm gonna have a little person try this out and tell me how it is. All Tiger wants to eat is the rice alone, so that's his meal. Okay, so here is the plated rice for Tiger. Tiger's gonna try it for me just to see how it tastes, and he's going to tell me how it tastes. Tiger can't wait. He said he's hungry. All he wants to eat is rice. Go ahead, Tiger.
Tastes like coconut. It has a flavor of coconut.
Okay, so here's my plate of rice. And I'm gonna go ahead and try some and enjoy this. It smells awesome. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll leave the ingredients in the box, but see how the movement, how the rice is moving. It's just so light and nice and airy. So yeah, and Tiger's finishing up his rice. All he's eating is just plain rice. Okay, and I have veggie burger and peas and carrots with mine. Thank you so much for watching.